Right, everyone, welcome to Imola Qualifying. Wow, it feels like it's been a while, but it's only been one race. But, I mean, is anyone going to topple the McLarens here, basically? Is anyone going to beat the McLarens? Is it possible? That's two ways of saying the same thing. We will find out. Imola Qualifying. How are Ferrari going to be? How is Kimi Antonelli going to be as well? Let me try and get everything working here. Bear with me. I was on the wrong connection, but it should be good now. It should be good. Fingers crossed. Thank you so much, Harley. I'm not too bad. I've just come back from Monaco, so it's all good. Hopefully you've been seeing the videos I was making out there. A video coming out tomorrow. That's just been finalized. But yes, now everything is happening now. It's all happening. JJ getting to that 48. I need to revamp the membership, the new badge in time for the 48. We need to decide, what do you want that badge to be? What do you want it to be? Thanks so much, JJ. Thanks so much, Harley Gam. Appreciate it. And Kata Uji and YT Sebastian and Vlacker as well. Hello to everyone joining us. It's been a while since I've streamed a watch-along. Have some of my drink. I mean, it's unnecessary calories, this. This straw goes off 16 September 2026. 2026. You know what? I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it. We only live once. Did you see the content, Harley Gam? Please, chat, please give some claps up for Harley Gam. There's no to 199. Yeah, not too bad myself, JJ. How are things in the JJ household? What sim racing is going on at the moment? Man, streaming is like... I forgot how many things there are to do. I completely forgot. Yasu as well. Blacker in the house. Good to see everyone. And... you can see I've got an overlay working for the likes, for the, I don't know, is that views then? I don't fully understand the difference, but there's lots of numbers going on. No worries, Harley. How are you doing? JJ's got into Euro Truck Sim. So the Euro Truck Simulator people did contact me, and I didn't get back to them, which is very bad. But they wanted to give me some keys to give away. So I will need to get on that. And it'd be cool to interview them, actually. Oh my god, this is the worst straw ever. Such a bad idea. How much this is like a full day of food. Harley Gam's doing okay. Are we excited for Imola? Anyone think that McLaren aren't gonna dominate here? McLaren domination. I'm going to make a mess with this straw. Yeah, it's good to be back. So I went to Monaco with Formula E, which was awesome. That was one of the best trips ever. And then straight away I went to Denmark to see Acertech, to talk about some stuff. And there's a video coming out on that this week, which is great. And then Tuesday I'm going to be in Paris, which is awesome. For some stuff. I don't know if it's... I'd love to do some GT. I was doing some GT last night on Fanatec equipment and some new pedals. I'd love to do some racing going on Logitech. Harley, teams don't try to show the actual speed in practice, and maybe Red Bull pole, maybe Franz Hermann going for the pole. Has everyone seen the Franz Hermann stuff? Is everyone aware of Franz Hermann? That's been pretty interesting to watch, I have to say. Pretty interesting. So Max Verstappen has been at the Nürburgring, and some people say he's been setting records. He's been setting lap records. That's the rumour going round. And some of the existing Nürburgring pro drivers aren't very happy about it. So they've said, "Oh no, that wasn't a lap. That was a fast car," and Verstappen clapped back basically, and said, "No, it wasn't a fast car. It was the same car," implying that he's basically quicker than all these Nord Life experts. So Max Verstappen might actually be the GOAT. That is kind of GOAT behaviour. It's legendary behaviour. Which is pretty cool. Anyway, it's good to be back here doing the watch along. How is the stream looking? How is the quality of stream? We'll go to the other layouts as well when they come online, but it's good to have this one. We've got FP3 standings on the top. I actually like this layout. I think this layout's better for quality. I think this is a really good layout. JJ looking great. Awesome. Awesome. Next week for Monaco, I may be with another sim racing company, so we might be doing it. We're doing the watch along mobile, but we will do the watch along. I've specifically set aside space for that. That will happen. And yeah, lots of super exciting videos basically on the way. Has anyone enjoyed any particular videos recently? Let's get the lights on as well. I don't think it was raining in FP3. I'm pretty sure it wasn't raining. I don't know what's going on with Sky because I don't know what they're up to. Let's get the lights on. Let's get the old lights on. Which I don't know how to do. Why do I feel really stupid? No, I'm pretty sure it's good weather. In the Formula E... Oh, there we go, that's what's... In the Formula E, the qualifying was rained off. Apparently the race was very exciting. Like, super exciting. Whoa, that's bright. That's quite a nice vibe. I like that one. We're rolling that one. Looks like Sky are basically doing a big Ferrari advert. It does make me uncomfortable how, like, the journalism around Formula 1 is combined with the broadcast and is combined with the corporate sale of Formula 1 as a business to us as consumers. Like, there's no separation there, which means that if something's happening which is not in the best interest of us, the viewers, I don't feel like Sky are that inclined to report on it. That's just my 2 cents. I don't know if it's the same with ESPN or not, but let me know. Yeah, Verstappen P3, FP3. I mean, FP3 doesn't mean too much, to be fair. Antonelli, I've been so impressed with Antonelli this season. I think he's been the real, like, I think champion of the future, maybe. I think definitely star of the future. It's interesting in Mercedes because Mercedes have had this kind of... If you look at all of the Mercedes drivers, whilst they've been there, they've all been like a little bit corporate-y. I know Lewis had, had increasing free reign, but when he moved there, like, they all kind of like toe the corporate line. But Antonelli just doesn't seem like that at all. I don't think they've ever had a driver like Antonelli at Mercedes in terms of the character and the personality. Ticket bait lights are the good 2 cents. What car is that in the picture? Colapinto. We predicted it. We all predicted it. It was an open secret. Could put some money on that. Welcome, Alex Monster Diz. Good to see you. There's lots of things in Formula 1 that are not in the viewer's interest. For example, I think sometimes the teams don't want to race. They don't want to risk the damage. Like, they don't want to incur the damage cost. They just want to go around. Like, sprint races have been a sham, and I've called it out. There's a whole situation with Red Bull and RB Cash App that is prone for just abuse. And then I don't like how Sky are all kind of cushy with Flavio Briatore, like interviewing him on the grid. Like the guy is banned from F1 for life. I don't like how they just sweep it under the carpet, but you can't undermine the F1 like image. I was speaking with some people who I guess I shouldn't name, who were in the F1 world, and they said it was really disgusting how people were booing Max Verstappen and Red Bull at the F1 75 live event. And I just said, I think it's great. I think that's the one time that people can voice their expressions there. It's not meant to be like a state ceremony where everyone politely claps as the teams self-indulge their sponsors like Atlassian and HP. You know, anyway, I thought it was interesting. Just ranting this afternoon. Ferrari G4. What do you mean Ferrari? What is a Ferrari G4? I've never heard of Ferrari G4. Black is impressed seeing he took his entire class to track. I think that is awesome. That is actually awesome. Take your whole class to track. Speaking of taking class to track, we are doing a meetup in London for the Gran Turismo World Series on the 7th of June. Details in the Discord. Hopefully everyone can see that because I posted, but I haven't checked in since then. Has that gone well? No, there's no comments. Maybe the meetup isn't happening. Maybe people are furiously trying to work out their plans. Anyway. I will be there, so. We post the old stream. Been so busy recently. Man, YouTube is just insane these days. Like, the things you need to do on YouTube, I'm just looking at some thumbnails. It's like, it's absolutely mad. There's more... People spend more time on YouTube manipulating people to watch, I think, than actually making good content. Monster says Max deserves more than booing. The cars are so good at the moment. Actually sound a bit better now too. I think Max with this whole Nürburgring thing is really doing a good job for his image. I think it's fantastic. I think he's doing an amazing job. Put him in the thumbnail. Proving my point there, exactly. So 20 minutes away from Q3. How are the Ferraris going to be? Like, how far? I'm really interested to see how far off Lewis Hamilton's going to be from Charles Leclerc. I'm not expecting in any way Hamilton to out-qualify Leclerc. Black Casino, a bit too far for me to join. We'll have to do a meet-up tour. I do think what am I drinking is someone bought me a Frappuccino. I do think that Formula 1 this season, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think the racing has been that good. And it's not like football, like the Champions League every year. There's going to be great matches because you just have so many matches. There are going to be great matches. But I feel like with Formula 1, with only 20 whatever races, 22, 23 races, and how many it is, sprints, what? Like, when you have a dominant team that's in every race, and it's all about who wins the race, you can go through long periods where you don't have good racing for meaningful stuff like wins. But Formula 1 is still going to market it like it's insane. But we know that sometimes it's just not insane. Morning, Spaceman. Good to see you. You in space, returns from space. Where are you currently? What is the location? But this is the thing, like, I feel like Formula 1... It's when the Americans took over, and then with 2021, that was a legitimate, one of the best seasons, one of the best sports seasons, one of the best entertainment things of all time. Like, it was just, of all time, it was incredible. You know, they built all this stuff off the back of it, and they need to kind of justify, I think, the same viewership figures, etc. But I just wonder, like, if next season, if there's a dominant team next season, surely they're going to have to tweak the rules or something and try and make it closer. They're not going to want to afford another, like, Mercedes dominance, I think. Welcome, Craig. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. That's what I think. Some more 2 cents there. We will go over to the other system and bring up. So everyone's chatting away. Black said, yeah, kind of boring, no major surprises. The thing is, back in the day, there wasn't as much expectation. Like, you'd watch a Formula 1 race because it's a Formula 1 race. You wouldn't watch it expecting, like, incredible drama necessarily every time. And you'd also watch it because, let's be honest, back in the day, you could watch Formula 1 and nothing would happen from a racing perspective, but the cars sounded incredible, looked amazing. They looked difficult to drive. Some of them would blow up. And it was just a nice experience for 2 hours on a Sunday to just basically just hear these cars and see them in an almost like passive experience. If you think about what F1 has become now with DRS, with like a lot of artificial stuff on the tyres, you know, they're really trying to get as many overtakes as possible, but if you make it too easy, it becomes meaningless. Spaceman says Lewis getting pole. That is an incredible shout. That is a huge shout. Lewis getting pole was a mad shout. I rate it. I rate it a lot. Fair play. So we're just 15 minutes away now from qualifying. I reckon Lando will get it. I think Lando's going to go on a streak now. I feel like the beginning of the season was a bit of a pressure cooker for him, with the car being so good, etc. And I think now, actually, he might get in his stride a bit with this run of races. 3 back-to-back races. Imola, Monaco, Barcelona. Welcome, Carlo Laures. Good to see you, my friend. How are you doing? Well, I might try and ping this up on TikTok as well. Bear with me. By the way, did anyone see my live streams in Monaco? Anyone see those? That was a lot of fun to do, actually. Like 27, yes. I'll try and adjust that as well to make it nicer. I've completely forgotten how to do this, so bear with me. I can't believe I've no idea how to do this anymore. Okay, right, so this is very confusing. Exceptional confusion. So bear with me. Just need to find something. Okay. Welcome Martin Hudson, welcome JS. Welcome along everyone. Hope you're doing well. We are just 30 minutes away from qualifying. Oh, it's good to be back doing this. I say that we only missed one race. The timing's almost worked out actually. And to be honest, in hindsight, I could have made the timings actually work. But I didn't want to risk scheduling a chat with the driver or something like that, and then to not be able to do it. But in the end, it was all good. One says Max is fast, but you backing Max? Someone's backed Hamilton. Has anyone back? Who are we backing for pole position? Who are we backing? Any surprise packages? Brooke and Lewis Gill? Any surprise packages, anyone? Oh my god, I'm going to have so many devices up here. Jamie backing Lando. Yeah, JJ saying Norris. Honestly, I've backed Piastri for like a year now, but I just think for this one, I just think that Lando, there might be a little bit of pressure off. Like he might be able to see the championship finish flag in a way. That's what I'm thinking. Grace Bond is backing Lando. Alex doesn't back Max, likes Oscar. Spaceman saying Kimi. Can you imagine if Kimi Antonelli gets a pole here? That will catapult him. He must be super famous in Italy already. He must be mad famous in Italy. Black could like to see Kimi on pole, not happen, but you never know. You never know. Like, it's always really close. That is the thing about qualifying. I know I've basically slated F1 so far this stream, but in qualifying, it is always a matter of tenths normally, and that, however you cut it, that is a very short amount of time. So. So we will see. I'm just doing some chopping and changing. Chopping and changing. Owen says, when will qualifying start? In 9 minutes, my friend. We're very close to the start of qualifying now. Super close. And I'm intrigued. To see who's going to win. Yeah, Nevan's got it. Carlo, Nevan's best car. Did I miss anyone joining? Let me know if you're in the chat and I've missed you. Because we don't want that to happen, obviously. I just wonder if, like, Verstappen is really going to drag something out of this car also. It could happen. It could happen. Oh, that's quite nice there. Isn't that quite nice? I like that. Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what, the layout game has improved so much. Is it fair to say? Drivers are putting their helmets on. Charlotte Leclerc is sponsored by IBM. All the big companies now. Evan F1 fan is preying on a Ferrari P3. Why a P3? Are you saying that the McLarens are just unassailable? Is that what you're saying? Like, how are you doing, Kireth? Well, I did stream in Monaco. I was streaming. Was Monaco last week? Was Monaco last week? I'm losing track. But anyway, I did do some IRL streams out there. I went to the casino. I went to the hairpin. We looked at cars. We did live streaming. But I haven't. I didn't stream Miami. So yeah. 2 weeks. Okay, 2 weeks makes sense. I'm losing track. I am losing track. It's a nice problem to have. McLaren are a different level. Yeah. Well, we're going to see soon. I mean, they could still bottle it. I feel like Lando is either pole or bottle. There's not a middle ground. Would anyone agree with that? Welcome, Patrick D. Good to see you. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. We are essentially ready for qualifying. It's going to start very soon, which is awesome. Everyone's saying Lando pole, and no one's saying Piastri. No one's saying championship leader Piastri. Thought Racing in the house as well. He's been doing a lot of the editing and the thumbnails. There's some exciting moments. Todd is going to be absolutely on it. Like a laser. Getting it on the socials. Franz Herman. Todd getting Franz Herman on pole. Big Franz. Eden saying McLaren pole, but not sure who. Okay. Well, come on, Eden. Who do you think? There's only two of them. And I think Pato Award is going to be airdropped in. JJ, we spell his name. Owen Max is going to do his Max thing. I mean, it is Imola. It is a difficult technical circuit. So, you know, remember what Max did in Japan at Suzuka? That's a difficult technical circuit. Blacker was watching that, and last week at our high school anniversary. Very nice. High school reunion. JJ says Norris or the other guy.
Oh, sick.
I wonder how people at F1 would feel about Oscar Piastri being a world champion. Is Lando Norris just way more marketable than Oscar Piastri? Is that unfair, or is that fair to say? Okay, we are just 5 minutes away now from the start of qualifying. It's imminent. 30% humidity. Interesting. Waters hell no. Welcome Crazy Aid. Gray still saying Lando all the way. Eden Max always struggles in FP1, FP2, always better FP3. Q and race for Franz. Big Franz Herman. They should change the F1 movie and do Brad Pitt's character as Franz Herman. Should have yeah, it's an interesting idea. Star Team, if Piastri got his take, let's have it. Well, a shootout would be good. I feel whenever Max is so close to McLaren, he's getting poles, but Red Bull's race pace can't keep the McLarens behind. Do you think that makes Max a bit less incentivized to get a pole because he's like, I'm not going to keep it in the race. It's not worth me risking it because I'm just going to be overtaken. So that extra risk that might put me in the barrier, I'll just play it safe and get a P3, and I'll bring the P3, and maybe there'll be some upgrades later in the season. Hopefully not, but I could see that kind of logic. I could see that happening. Potentially. Just a couple of minutes away now, partly cloudy. The humidity is high, but it's not going to rain. He says, track temp 41 degrees. I was in this part of the world this time last year. I was in Misano, just down the road. Really interesting part of the world, actually. And they are absolutely obsessed by motorsport. It's just part of life. Grace, Oscar is good, but we need some mix-up and pole. Nevin, it's amazing Vettel still has way more poles than Max. Yeah, but, I mean, that Red Bull back around, like, 2010. That Red Bull just... You couldn't... that was a pole machine. And Vettel was very good at winning from pole. This is what I mean a little bit. Like, back in that day, if Vettel was on pole, the race was basically accounted for. But we'd watch it anyway because we, you know, the cars was even then there was with double diffusion and everything. It was still really nice to listen to. I think a lot of people think drivers sleep in the cars when they got their eyes closed, but they're just doing visualization, so they're not sleeping. They're visualizing the lap. If you saw our video with Taylor Barnard, who got pole in Monaco. Spaceman's going to Bologna in few. So, well, there we go. Definitely try and check out. Well, you'll feel it. You'll just feel the vibe, even in Bologna. I mean, that's the airport, isn't it, anyway? What about the Ferrari, since you're a Tifosi fan? I don't think the Ferraris are going to be anywhere here, but I might be wrong. Craig says, by the way, Croatia. Chat, with 1 minute to go, let's do a nations check. Let's do a quick nations check. Let us know where in the world you're watching from. Let us know. Because we are literally about to start. It is imminent. 40 seconds. Carlos Sainz is going to be weaving. Here we go. Grace from UK, Crazy 8 Cyprus, Craig, Martin Netherlands, Rodney Australia, Nevin from Greenwich, Sean Maryland. Okay, not sure who's winning so far. Which country? Owen from South Africa, Alejandro Domingos from Spain, Calvin, California, as cars are out on circuit, Nico Hulkenberg, King Nev, Australia. I don't think we have a winner so far. I think it's really spread out. Hang on, King's Nev is from Austria and Canada. That can't be correct unless you took a very quick flight. Unless you're on the International Space Station. Spaceman, Brazil, Vlachia, Croatia. Yeah, we are underway. Nico Hulkenberg has left the pit lane. In the Saubers, not that I don't think the Saubers are going to be on pole position, but anyway, we're trying to see who's going to make it through in qualifying because we're in Q1 at the moment, and basically Q1 is an 18-minute session. You can see the timer at the top, where the bottom 5 drivers will get knocked out. So this is a qualifying of survival. You just want to survive. Juan Bonguera says Disney waiting in line. Vamos con la pinta. Juan Bonguera is at Disney World. That's awesome. God, they will do an F1 Disneyland, won't they? That is going to happen, and every team will have their own themed place, and you'll go to the restaurants. I mean, that just is going to be a thing. Alejandro was thinking about the street circuit of Madrid. I mean, I like Barcelona. I don't see how it's going to be better than Barcelona, but I can be proved wrong. Welcome, Snowline. Happy quality, everyone. The Madrid circuit as well, I'll let anyone from Spain defer, but that Madrid circuit is not exactly in the centre of Madrid, is it? It's not on a hustling, bustling part of Madrid. I suspect there's been some politics there. Pirelli have got the very softest tyre here, so we should see some very fast qualifying laps. Maybe degradation could be an issue as well. Michael Katz, Canada. And Nico Hülkenberg will be the first driver to finish his lap. So he's going to overtake Alex Albon into the very difficult braking zone, downhill, not really straight because you come off this kink, and then hit the curb on the inside, and it's flat over the line. What is Nico Hülkenberg going to do in the Sauber? 1 minute 17 dead for Hülkenberg. What about Bortoleto? Bortoletto's going to go over 4 tenths quicker, and now we're going to have the Hasses. Ocon first, who is just behind Hülkenberg, and now Ollie Behrman. Will Behrman go fastest? Is it possible? No. So Bortoleto doing a lap time 3 tenths quicker than Nico Hülkenberg. Pretty impressive. Charles Leclerc is going to start his lap now as well. Meanwhile, Lance Stroll is going to complete a lap here. Let's see. Oh, welcome, Mike Schmidt. Good to see you, my friend, with a 12-month badge. Looking very cool. Lance Stroll can't beat Bortoleto. What did Bortoleto have for breakfast? What about Alonso? Alonso goes fasted. 1:16.2 for Fernando Alonso. And now we're going to see Carlos Sainz and then Lewis Hamilton in the first of, let's say, the front-runner teams. 16.4 for Sainz. What about Hamilton? Will Hamilton go fastest? Not sure. I'm not sure he will. No. Just 200ths behind Fernando Alonso. I mean, that is such a small amount of time. 200ths of a second. I can't even tell you how, like myself doing racing, as Alex Albon goes fastest, like, even 2 tenths is a small amount of time. Like, if I can go around and do a lap within 2 tenths, I'm like, oh, I'm pretty close. So 200ths is 10 times smaller than that. That's insane. Using G Pro. Am I in the G Pro? I am in the G Pro. The wheel's off though. That is a G Pro right there. Yeah, welcome to the new subscribers. Nina Husky from sunny Mallorca. Living the life. Is that on the beach? On the beach with the Watchalong on. Very nice. Alejandro, McLaren is untouchable now. Don't know if Red Bull can regain the lead. Well, not this season, I would say, but I mean, we started last season with the Red Bull 20 seconds ahead at Suzuka. If anyone remembers. So, anyone else coming over to set a lap? Antonelli is on the out lap. And Lando Norris as well. So, Fernando Alonso, a little bit of a surprise package there. We have essentially a 1 second spread between first place in Albon and last place so far in Esteban Ocon, which is quite a big spread, I would say. That's quite a big spread. Why was that showing? Oh, that red flag is from earlier, right? So no, it's from now. There's a red flag. There's a red flag. There's a red flag. What's happened here? What's happened to cause a red flag? I can't see anyone that stopped. Oh, massive crash! Huge crash! It's a Red Bull. It's Tsunoda. It's Tsunoda. Huge. Where is that? Is that the last corner? Is that 17? No. How has he gone into the barrier there? Backwards. It's 6. It's turn 6. That is he must have had some big snap there, and then it must have re-gripped or something. The area must have come back over the wings, because to go in there is very unusual. This is a very unusual crash. It's a big crash. The car is destroyed. The advertising hoardings are destroyed. Yuki Tsunoda is getting out of the car unassisted. Yeah, but how's that happened? There's a red flag here, and that means the McLarens and Verstappen hadn't set a time. We saw Verstappen was fastest in Sector 1. Tsunoda does walk away, so he is okay. Session has been stopped. There is enough time for everyone to do their laps, but that might be burning an extra set of tyres for Verstappen. So he went into 5. Oh, yeah. He hit the curb, and he just went left. That's why he's hit the barrier in a place that you really wouldn't expect. Oh my god! Without the halo, that might be a fatality. Without the halo, Yuki Tsunoda might be dead. I'm not even joking. That is horrific. That is absolutely horrendous. He goes into the gravel, sort of hits the barrier backward, and then flips the car over the barrier, a bit like Zhou Guanyu style, like at Silverstone, and then comes back in. That is oh my god. Well, I tell you what, Sky Sports are going to be using that for their Christmas reel this year, because that is absolutely sensational footage. But I think the halo might have saved him there. That is. If you think I'm exaggerating, it is way more dramatic than you think, than even I'm making it sound. Like, it's unbelievable he has walked away from that. Unbelievable. In a junior formula back in the day. Yeah. The thing that the car was kind of the gravel trap did not slow the car down, by the way. Daniel Kvyat 2015 Japan. Yeah, he hit the curb, so he came into 5, he hit the curb on the apex, and then the back end comes around, so he's now pointing towards the barrier on the left hand side. He skims across the grass, but now he's going sideways, and then he goes onto the gravel. The gravel doesn't dig in, which would have been a roll maybe, but he kind of skims over the gravel because he's going really fast, but then he kind of hits the barrier like he's kind of off the ground, and then he rolls over on the barrier and he's upside down, and I think he does a barrel roll on the barrier, and then he comes down on the right side of the circuit. We'd be looking at this crash very differently if he'd gone over the top of the barrier, and we would have been seeing how strong that catch fence is. Owen, that upgrade seems to be giving the trouble. F1 car's more secure since Felipe's crash. I'm very glad at that moment in time there's a halo on that car. If there's not a halo on that car, I know you have the roll hoop and the front of the survival cell, like you should be underneath that, but that doesn't work when there's a sharp barrier that you can kind of be in there. So I'm kind of surprised they've kind of shown all that footage, but they've shown it and we've seen it. That is an insane crash. Goes without saying that they're going to have a lot of work to do on that car, but I'm genuinely pleased that Yuki Tsunoda is okay. Asanda Siabonga saying, yes, I'm watching the quali live. He flipped the car on the barriers. Motive scary crash. Nina Husky, one of the beats with one earpod each listening. Hello to both of you. Having a very nice time. That is super nice. Hopefully the weather's nice. Mallorca's often quite nice and fresh, isn't it? Quite windy sometimes. Lots of windsurfing, sailing. Nice fresh vibe. That is awesome. Well, I hope I've described the crash accurately for you. Asanda Siabonga in the chat, let us know how you would describe it. You've said he flipped the car on the barriers, motive scary crash. Star Tamer, for years they didn't need a halo. Since the introduction they saved a couple to few, maybe more drivers' lives. Yeah, I by the way, I saw a disgraceful YouTube video thumbnail, like absolutely should be illegal and the guy should be jailed, where he made a thumbnail on the fatality that happened in Kyalami, where unfortunately both the driver and the marshal were killed, and he's used that image and used AI to make it more dramatic for the thumbnail, and frankly it makes me sick. It makes me ashamed to be a YouTuber, because there is no regulation and people are going to do anything for clicks, and that is disgusting, and I will always associate that person with doing that. So anyway, Alejandro's positive. Yeah, he's going to be fine. He's walked away. I mean, we'll have to have concussion tests and everything, but so what that means for qualifying, by the way, and it's not, I don't think is a Tech Pro barrier, so we'll see. Hopefully it might be fairly quick to repair and get underway, notwithstanding the severity of the crash. Is I wonder if Verstappen's burnt a set of tyres here, because he did a fastest sector 1 and was on course, I think, for fastest sector 2 out of anyone. Yeah, it's tyre barriers there, by the way. So it's tyre barriers. And I wonder if that's why the car sort of bounced up and over the top. But Yuki Tsunoda's car has now been recovered behind the tyre barrier. Lando Norris as well was unable to finish a lap. So thanks to everyone who's joining and liking, by the way. 54 likes on the YouTube stream, 300 people watching. We can do a lot better than that. We can hit the 100 like button. So if you do like me as a real person, guiding you through this qualifying, please do help me out and hit the like button. It does genuinely massively help. Black says, as long as he got out on his own, I find that to be a good sign. I was speaking with a racing driver. I was speaking with Valdemar Eriksson last week in Denmark. I had dinner with him and we were chatting about loads of stuff. Super interesting, all off camera. But he had a big crash at Portimao. I think like a 50G crash or something, and he said he got concussion, I believe. Which basically just like his brain hitting his skull, which is not great, not optimal. Thanks Snowline for hitting the like button. I hope you're doing well. Alejandro Dominguez as well saying like question mark. I'm Ron Burgundy. So still to set a time, both Mercedes, both McLarens, both Red Bulls, but Tsunoda won't be setting one. Both RBs and both Alpines. Everyone else had set a lap. So it's not like the teams were kind of splitting strategy or something like that. Welcome Karting Kayane. Yep, so they are working on fixing the tyre barrier. Some of the Rolex sponsorship has been removed away. There's a Ford Transit van by the side of the circuit. See again what happened here. Was there an issue? Did it just ride the curb too much? So he turned in. Interesting. I can't explain it, but yeah, he went in almost backward. He was airborne as he hit the barrier, and then he rolled on top of the barrier upside down. So he sort of... This is what makes me uncomfortable, because obviously Guan Yu Zhou's crash at Silverstone looks really bad. And in the end, I think the roll hoop was worn down, wasn't it? But, you know, nothing should have got in the way. But Yuki's crash is uncomfortable because he kind of was upside down on a tyre barrier. Yeah, I wonder what the driver, what you would have thought behind seeing that happen. Piastri's on the radio saying, "Is he all right?" Asanda, he ate too much curb. Yeah. So the thing is, right, at Imola, you really want to be taking as much curb as possible. Like, Lawson said, "Oh my god, I just saw the video. Is he okay?" Which is nice, considering Yuki took his seat. He's not on the radio saying, "By the way, guys, if he's not okay, I'm ready to step up again." But at Imola, I think you really want to attack these curbs to straight line the corners. But the curbs are kind of a little bit evil. They're very sawtooth. There's multiple ridges on them. And I think with these ground effect cars, when you lift the car up, because what you want to do over a curb, and I was speaking with race drivers, you want to unload the car, and you can do this in the approach. The way you approach the corner, you can unload the tyre that's going to go over the curb, so it's not a big impact. If you have the car loaded, the tyre that hits the curb will just ride it nicely. Whereas if the car's loaded on that tyre, when you hit the curb, it's going to be massive. And I spoke to a lot of drivers about this. I spoke to Sebastian Buemi about how you ride curbs in Degrassi. Who else did I speak with about curbs? I spoke to someone about curbs, about how you ride the curb, how you approach the curb. I was speaking about a curb. Who was I speaking to? Who was I speaking to about how you enter the curb? Oh god, I was having a really interesting... 3 minutes till we restart. I was having a really interesting discussion about how you start the curb. And at what point? I need to remember. But anyway, it's about unloading the tyre. With these ground effect cars, I think if you unload the tyre and you ride the curb nicely, in a GT3 car would have been amazing. Actually, because of the ground effect, it does strange things to the aero. And so that's what I said at the time when I said like about re-gripping. It's probably not the right term, but the airflow, as the airflow gets disrupted, and then as the airflow kind of gets back again the right way, suddenly you have all that downforce again. And if you've got the downforce, if you've got more downforce and you've opened it up, and then the downforce comes. So Alejandro has seen the video. It is terrifying. Chai coming in briefly from Amsterdam. Well, I had a workshop. I'll be in Amsterdam next weekend, I think. Won't be joining the stream, but wishing you lots of fun. No problem, Chai. Thanks for joining in. Anyway, incredibly, we are back underway. We are back underway. The cars are queuing in the pit lane. Who was I speaking to about how to ride a curb? Oh, that's going to bug me. Was it Dan ticked him? I can't remember. Basically, they explained curbs to me in a way that I hadn't appreciated before, and it actually has changed my view on how you approach driving a curb.
Keep trying.
Yeah, I was having a look. Oh, I know who I was speaking to about it. I was speaking to about the Nordschleife to Seb Melrose, who is a GT driver who drives at the Nordschleife, and we were talking about how you attack curbs at the Nordschleife, because we were comparing onboards, me in sim racing and him in real life in BMWs, and I was saying this is how I attack this curb, like say at Adenauer or something like that, and he was saying actually I'd used even more curb than that. And I'm like, how are you taking more curb than that? We talked about unloading, and we talked about riding the curb early. If you ride the curb early, maybe Cola Pinto's gone too early, by the way. If you're riding the curb early, then you can kind of get yourself onto the curb. But if you ride the curb late, there's more of a face. So again, how do you trail brake into a corner and kind of get yourself onto the curb? It's very interesting. I'd imagine the straighter the wheel, the easier to ride it. It's actually not that at all. Well, that will also come into it, because the angle of your tyre onto the curb and the deflection. But it's more about the weight transfer. It's more about how loaded is that tyre. Is it in a position ready to be receptive to a curb, and then and ride up, or is it loaded? And that you have to go back then to your corner entry, and at what point you turn in, and how you're manipulating the brake. All so you can straighten the corner more. I spoke with Sebastian Buemi specifically at Monaco. You know, when they do that bit where they kind of like, it's a straight but they kind of cut in and out, and I said to him straight up, which is in the video online now, if you look at the interview I had with Sebastian, I just say, is it faster to do that? And he's like, if you take that jump, you're just going to unsettle the car into the braking, so it probably is faster to go around. It's not just more comfortable. So we're underway, everyone. 10 minutes to go. Yeah, I've been having some super interesting conversations with racing drivers. Like, really interesting. And I might put a lot of them on the Motorsport channel, which I think is going to be renamed. We're going to rename the Motorsport channel. It might not have my name in it even. We're going to call it something else. Should be interesting. Hadjar is the only driver on the grid who's never been knocked out in Q1. I think that's an incredible stat for a rookie. Fair play to Isaac Hadjar. I rate that. I rate that a lot. Yeah, Colapinto is going to get slapped with a penalty here. Is it going to be a sporting penalty or financial penalty? Well, Flavio will pay it either way, I think. So we're back underway. 10 minutes to go, exactly, pretty much, in qualifying. And Verstappen is just coming out of the pits now. And look at the McLarens just coming out. It's really interesting because a lot of the cars that have already set times were ahead of the cars that hadn't set a time. So that means that there's going to be so much traffic for the likes of Piastri and Lando, who are the last out of the pits. It's going to be really messed up here. There's going to be a lot of traffic. By the way, I cannot believe that we are racing again so quickly. Like, 10 years ago, that's a fatality. It's like, that's absolutely incredible. That, you know, that's mad. See, I'm looking at ball with Hadjar here. Hadjar's avoiding some of the curbs. So this is the thing. There's two ways you can drive this track. You can either be like, I'm going to hit all these curves and straight line it, but I'm going to have to deal with the aero consequences as the car races up. Or, you know, Hadjar hasn't missed a Q1. Maybe he's more a little bit, I'm just going to play it safe. And I'm not going to be able to set a blistering time. But I'm going to drive my lines this way. And that will be something they'll discuss on the track walk. Obviously, they will do on the sim. On the sim, and we're talking professional sims here, not like a Logitech. They will try they will have their testing drivers. Someone like Jake Dennis is a testing driver for Red Bull Racing. Try different lines and say, okay, what happens if you smash these curves? Like, how easy is it? Easy is not the right word, but like, how unsettling is it? Okay, now let's try the lines here, and they'll go corner by corner. Okay, let's try this line. And if you're a nerd like me, that's super exciting. Welcome, What Tough Moys. Mr. Brayton, not sure I'm happy to be back in the stream. No worries, I was in Monaco last week. The week before. Okay, so Hulkenberg boxes. And Bortoleto as well. Hamilton starts a flying lap. Gasly goes to the top of the leaderboards. Norris will start a flying lap as well. So Gasly with a 15.9. Maybe showing some track evolution there. Lance Stroll goes up to P4 as well. And Fernando Alonso goes P1. 15.6. Alonso looking quick. Alonso looking quick here. Kimi Antonelli is going to set his first lap time of the day in qualifying, goes P3. Alex Albon is not on a flying lap, but George Russell is. Keep an eye for Russell and then keep an eye for Verstappen. Let's see what happens here. Russell goes to P2 and now Verstappen. Will Verstappen blow everyone away thus far? It's going to be pretty quick. Yes, a 15.1. Look at the spread here. 2 second spread between Oliver Behrman and Verstappen. That is an age. Charles Leclerc now will go over the line and it's a P7. The second sector not very good at all. Carlos Sainz looks like he might be boxing. Hamilton, Lewis Hamilton goes over. Where is he relative to Leclerc? Not good. That's not good news for Ferrari fans with both the drivers not there. Right now, let's look at Norris. Norris only can go P5. Only P5 for Norris. And Oscar Piastri. Is he going to go better than Verstappen? Let's have a look. I'm not sure. It might be close. Verstappen versus Piastri. Piastri goes P2. It's not even that close. It's 3/10. So Verstappen is on it. And look at that. Alonso, Russell, Gasly splitting the McLarens as well. Now it's going to be interesting because I'm not sure that Lando is going to have enough time here to comfortably do like a standard in-lap and then box and then out lap, whereas the other drivers are getting ready. But let's see, it's all going to be a little bit compressed because what happened with the Yuki Tsunoda red flag, if you just joined us, Yuki Tsunoda almost died. I'm not even joking. It's crazy that we're still racing, but there we go. The show must go on. He is okay. The crash was horrendous. So everyone else is going to box now. The track will be empty. And then there's going to be a huge queue. The traffic here is going to be crazy. There's going to be lots of running into people, especially on the last corner. So they all come in. Drivers maybe going to be using a lot of sets of tyres as well. Let's have a look at the bottom end, because the drop zone is Hulkenberg, Bortoleto, Behrman, Ocon. We know that Yuki Tsunoda is not going to make it through. So the question is, can Colapinto get through, or will he get pinged with a penalty? Lando Norris went really wide over a curb. Potentially damaged the floor there because these curbs are pretty ugly. They're very inviting, but you've got the sawtooth on the outside. Yeah. But yeah, welcome everyone who's watching. 458 people watching Ferrari 458. Do hit the like button as well. Let's try and get up to 100. Charles Leclerc having a moment on the exit of the chicane at the top of the hill. Turn 15. And yeah, a lot of drivers. What I like about Imola is that you're not going to exceed track limits by taking too much curb, because you're going to be in the gravel, because the curbs are quite shallow here, which I like. So you can push it because you got the natural gravel stopping you. Well, it didn't stop Yuki Tsunoda. Okay, so everyone's queuing out now the pit lanes. 3:14. I just wonder. I'm going to call it now. I'm going to call it. I wonder if someone's going to get caught out here with the timing. I wonder. I know it's not the longest lap. It's a 1:15. Now, considering you need to do a 1:15 lap time on your out lap, and then you got to do a 1:15. If you're at the back of this train, and it looks like Verstappen maybe is not interested in going out, it's going to be very accelerated, and you're going to be hitting a lot of traffic as well. So whoever's at the back of this, look at that timer ticking down. I just wonder if the back of this train, you're almost not going to have enough time to finish the lap. Is that going to happen? Antonelli wasn't happy about getting impeded on the pit exit. Now he's out, but you can see Hamilton's at the back of the queue here, because they are being regulated. It's like those traffic lights in the US. If you've ever driven in the US, like when you go on the freeway, they regulate you going on. You see Bortoleto starting a flying lap now, and he's coming out in all this traffic. Piastri, he's got, you know, all this traffic coming out of the pit. 1:54. Both Ferraris here. Ferrari may have massively balls this up, potentially. Like, watch this space. Watch this space. Because I wonder if they're being held as well for the traffic coming out. 1:38. I mean, Leclerc's coming out now. These drivers have to both give way to the faster traffic, and they don't want to burn their tyres. So look at Hamilton and Russell kind of coming out together. Carlos Sainz has got to get past them. I mean, keep an eye on Russell here. Russell might not make it. Russell might not make it. The same with Hamilton. Because it's Alex, and they might get done for impeding as well. Because look, Ocon's on the fast lap. Russell's got to let Ocon through. If I've called this right, I think I should work for the FIA. Or a Formula 1 team, or Ferrari strategy. Because it just seemed imperative here that you just needed to come out a bit earlier. 40 seconds to go. Have a look at George Russell. He's going through Aqua Minerale. Can George Russell get over the line from there with 28 seconds to go? What do we think, chat? Chat, let us know. Is Russell going to make it or not make it? Piastri lap time deleted. 17 seconds to go for George Russell. And there's a yellow flag because Colapinto's binned it. This session is absolutely foobar. This session is done. They're going to flag that. Colapinto's binned it. So none of these guys... Oh my god, well people might finish a lap. Keep an eye on people finishing a lap who've gone past the yellow. Is Hamilton going to be in trouble here? Red flag. Oh my god, they've saved Ferrari with the red flag. They saved Ferrari with the red flag there. Because Hamilton was in P13, wasn't going to make it round. That was a shambles. Formula One, that is embarrassing. Like, that is just straight up embarrassing. Colapinto's binned it for like the 8th race in a row. Welcome back to Formula One, Franco Colapinto. And your customary crash. You know, Jack Doohan wasn't binning it all the time. And they've red flagged it. And the cars weren't going to make it round. And I think they've saved Hamilton there. I think they saved Hamilton. Wow. Yeah, Russell wasn't going to make it anyway, so they completely balls that up. And then, yeah, because of the yellow flag, anyone behind that yellow flag wasn't going to make it. It's also it's just embarrassing from Colapinto because, like, it's just embarrassing. They saved him, but there's no saving in Q2. I think Colapinto's gone off. Yeah, T4. Mr. Amazing Gary Crasher Pinto back in F1. A Sander on it as well. Lewis Hamilton, very, 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 very lucky there. Very lucky. I mean, Russell was arguably, you know, okay. There's actually not a lot of difference between Hamilton's lap time and Russell's lap time, to be fair. But just in terms of the positions, I think people may be having lap times deleted. So, pretty embarrassing qualifying session, I have to say. So what did Colapinto do? Into turn 1 on the outside of the track. Hits curb on the inside, curb on the outside. Oh, just did not get it right at all. And again, I wonder if it's another ground effect thing on the curb. But he basically just... In fact, it's not even that. He just ran wide on the exit. He just ran wide on the exit. And it's a big crash. He goes straight into the tyre barriers. It's not as big as... it's not dramatic as Sonoda. But it's just an embarrassing crash from Colapinto. Like... Perpendicular meeting barrier. UNC just joined. You see Yuki, yeah, massive crash from Yuki. Never says Borat should go through rather than Colapinto. Gmar, both Ferrari outside the top 10, yeah, but it doesn't matter too much here for Q1. Flavio, mate, what have you done? And also, why are you here? Executive advisor. Just to make it clear, Flavio Briatore literally fixed a race in Formula 1. Like, he literally fixed a race. He cheated. And he told one of his drivers to crash to fix a race. Like, what are we doing? Are we're sending out the message like, oh, it's okay, don't worry about it. You'll be invited back. That's not okay in my book. I don't think his ban is over. I think they're just saying that he's not technically the team principal. He's an executive advisor. Well, that was a very strange qualifying session. Let's get up to 100 likes, chat. We can do it. Speaking of definitely not corrupt sports, FIFA and the Club World Cup 25. A tournament literally no one asked for, no one wanted. So I like sim racing. It's like I can just sim race. I can have my own storylines, my own stuff. Freddie Flintoff also did wrong. What did Freddie Flintoff do wrong? Did Freddie Flintoff fix a cricket match? That's news to me, if so. But I'm not really that across cricket, so. So hopefully there won't be too much of a delay. They'll need to fix that barrier. A bit like the Sonoda crash. And in the end, I haven't even mentioned it, but Liam Lawson's out of qualifying again. And Hadjar continues his run of making out of Q1. Surely Liam Lawson is he just being found out here? Freddie Flintoff fixed a cricket match? Surely not. I need some more details on that. I mean, that's huge. Isn't it the Australians normally doing that kind of stuff? Spaceman is Flavio up to his old tricks. Oh, you think he told Colapinto to crash to save Gasly? Flavio and a crash in Formula One. Say no more. Say no more. I get the feeling that Imola... Okay, this is going to sound really harsh. Imola is a proper circuit, proper old school circuit. It came back during COVID, right? It was off the calendar before. I feel like Formula One are not going to like racing here because I don't think it has as big capacity as Monza, and I don't think the cars can really handle it, and maybe the drivers aren't the same caliber even. I don't know. Colapinto might have been out of the session anyway because he came out so early. Everyone else was waiting. Colapinto just drove out of the pits. Like, bro just left. See what happened here. I think his mechanic was like, don't go, and Colapinto was like, I'm going. Nah, his mechanic was... That's embarrassing. What's going on at Alpine? His mechanic said, come on, mate, come on. And Colapinto just zoomed off. And then he just went straight into the barrier. It's not Colapinto's finest few minutes, that. He doesn't mind crashing a Formula One car. I mean, how much damage has he caused? Thanks, Vlatka. Oh, not enough memory. PC's always running out of memory. I thought I put 32 gigabytes in this thing. How is Max still holding on? I mean, this is incredible for Max's legacy. This is all terrible for Hamilton's legacy, and it's great for Max's legacy. Gordon, this is really embarrassing, Ferrari. It's not even funny anymore. Just Ferrari things. Just Ferrari things, my guy. There is rain nearby. We know there's lots of humidity. There's rain pretty close. What's the chance of rain? Now there's clouds on the circuit. Could it rain, chat? Right, we're getting ready for Q2 in any event. Q2, we are almost there. Don't know why Ollie Behrman's still in the car. I think, did he have a lap time deleted? Yeah, Behrman had a lap time deleted. And I'm not sure... Oh, Behrman went over the line, it was red. Behrman went over the line. That's actually... Behrman, that's actually dangerous. The checkered flag was waving, and it was red. It was clearly red. It was clearly red, and the medical car was coming out of the pits. I think Behrman might get a ban for that. Welcome, Mr. BE. Yeah, I don't know how it works, my friend. Hopefully you can use your magic to spam the old likes. Why red flag? Colapinto binned it in turn 1. Just Colapinto things. I don't see any way Behrman's getting that restated. In fact, I think he should get a penalty because it was a red flag and he obviously went over the line at full speed to set a fast lap. So we need the weather radar. We'll try and get that in the maybe get live weather radar like over the track. I would never be zoomed in. It would make sense with it. Session will start in 3 minutes. Our end, crazy crash of Sonoda. Yeah, I think the Halo saved him. I thank Mr. BE. How do I do that, by the way? How do I invite people? Hang on. How does this all work? Couldn't repost. How do I share? Okay, I shared it with you, Mr. B. You have to share it with everyone, like, individually. I'm going to share it with E1 Series Official. I'm going to share it with Driver 61. I'm not that. I got 3 members. Top members. Oh, Mr. B. Mr. Speedy B. It's a fun old world. Welcome, McGurkin. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. It's been a very dramatic qualifying, I have to say. Ah, thanks, Mr. B. What? Yeah, I don't see Oliver Behrman. Like, if it's clear, if the light's red, we're all going to be like, I'm just going to get over the line. But I guess you don't want to. This is the thing about. So let me explain. Oliver Behrman is approaching the start-finish line, having set a lap that's going to get him into Q2. Sorry, about to finish a lap that would get him into Q2. It's red. Now, you don't know at that stage whether there's a glitch, there's a mistake, or it's actually red, but I just feel like in the interest of safety, you have to slow down. When I was racing in Spain in my Mazdas, there was a lady who was just before the start-finish line who was taking a video with her phone, and she had a flip-down red phone cover. And me and the drivers I was battling with, we all thought it was a red flag. So we all slowed down. And then it kind of worked, because we all slowed down, then we all realised it wasn't. We all sped up again. But I feel like you can't assume that it isn't. I'm going to celebrate you, Mr. Speedy BE. You can add a sticker. Celebrate. How do I celebrate? Send a goodie bag. I sent you a goodie bag. Couldn't send. I'll have to check that out because I was using that CSL Porsche yesterday. Ottav Sans left at the right time. Yeah, inspired. Maybe Williams are going to be the... Oh, start of Q2 delayed again. So there's been a sub... It was meant to start now. But they've just delayed it again. Why have they done that? Why have they done that? I feel like Formula 1 is just in a bit of a shambles in this session. This straw is actually pretty good. Mr. Amazing Gary, better to assume red flag is real than not. Yeah, I agree. But your instincts as a racing driver are going to be, oh, I'll just get over the line. I'm so close. But it's a bit like if you were doing... It's a bit like, everyone in chat, if you were doing something and then... You're just about to finish, you spend hours doing it, and then the fire alarm goes off. And you don't know whether it's a real fire alarm or a drill or a mistake. And if you're 10 seconds away from finishing it, are you just going to finish the thing and go? Like, everyone's probably like, yeah, I'll just finish it and then I'll go. But I think in Formula 1, this is what the briefings are for. Like, I was in race control with the FIA in Monaco. I think Behrman is... I think he's going to get a penalty for that. I think he should get a grid pace penalty for it. Because the medical car was also coming out of the pits. McGurkin, I'm sorry to say it, and only because I think everyone's been okay, but I'm selfishly glad for red flags at the moment. I thought I was missed Q3. No, nothing wrong with that. Mr. Speedy B, how is Max doing? Well, he's chilling in P1 right now. He's chilling in P1. Chilling. Video quality. So we're still waiting. I don't know if it's fixing the barrier or what they're doing. It's when nothing actually works. Okay, that works. Not that it's important. Fan club as well. By the way, is anyone on the sim racing side? Has anyone been watching our streams we've been doing in the studio where we just talk about sim racing equipment. I really like doing them. I think they're great. We'll do some more this week. Yeah, there was a red flag for Yuki. I mean, the fact they got that car out and Yuki was okay is kind of crazy. So that's 2 red flags so far. And I wonder if the delay here is that they're working out with the FIA. Honestly, I don't see how you can give that lap back to Behrman. I just don't see it. So either Bortoletto's going to be out or Behrman's going to be out, and I just think it's a red flag. He's gone over the line under red flag without lifting, unless he's lifted and he's still got through. If he's okay. Oh my god. Okay, it's quite interesting. If he's lifted and it's not a fastest sector for him, then he's maybe complied with the red flag. So maybe Mattia Bonotto. Is that Jonathan Wheatley as well? Going to be pulling some strings over on the Sauber side. Arthur says, Verstappen, you missed Saturday. Oh, very nice, Nevan. What did you buy? What did you get? Spaceman says, Behrman should lose his lap and maybe be penalised, but he's British, so it'll be okay. Hashtag British bias. Hashtag British bias, yo. Well, I think I'm British, and I think his lap times should get deleted. Why don't focus? Looks awesome to be at Imola today. It's like a lot of fun, to be fair. But surely they can't be holding the whole thing up for this. Just make a decision. I'm not sure they're fixing the barrier, so I think the hold up is just trying to work out who's going through. Nevin was torn between the R3 and the G920. Well, I do have discount codes for both, or affiliate codes for both. But you got the G920 because the pedals are better. Yes, I think the pedals are better. And I think if Moser could just do better pedals with the R3, it would be a no-brainer. But the G920, G923, just has better pedals. It has the clutch as well if you want to use that with the shift later on. The R3 wheelbase is undeniably better than the G920, but I don't really like the SRP pedals, so that's with the performance mod thing. Anyway, hopefully you got my discount with that one. So everyone's just sitting in the cars. 237 with discount, not bad. So I think they do it at 280 like RRP, but I would never buy it at 280. It's always cheaper. Backash, I joined stream now. Why is Yuki last? Because bro almost died. Essentially, he's lucky he's alive. Oh, 349, yeah, but I wouldn't. Because how much is the R3 bundle? Akash, you asked the question and Jacob very kindly answered you almost immediately. Oh, now the mods have jumped in. Did Snowder crash, guys? Oh, the R3 bundle about 3. What? Where was that? Is that on Curry's or direct? I need to catch up with Moser. I want to do some more. You know, I went to. Where did I go? I went to Jerez with Moser and Lamborghini, and I haven't released any content yet. And all the content is good. Like, I don't need to send it for approval or anything. I just haven't released any yet. How crazy is that? I went on the grid with the wheel and everything. How is Stroll ahead of Norris? Just skill, mate. Just skill. R3 bundle for PC. Oh, yeah, that's... Oh, is that the PC one? So that's with the ES that doesn't have the Xbox rim. Okay, but what about the Xbox rim? Speedy B is in both streams. The R3 bundle with the Xbox rim, I think that's the interesting one. Even if you don't have an Xbox, I think the resale value is probably better. Welcome, Glap and Ken. If you're new here, by the way, please hit that subscribe button. You don't want to be not subscribed. Trust me, you want to be subscribed because it's free. What if in the future YouTube make you pay for subscriptions? So subscribe now. So you're already subscribed, you don't have to pay. That's stretching it, that one. I've never tried that one before. Behrman under investigation. I'm just surprised Snowdo usually scores higher. Yeah, okay, but the car's in like a million pieces. Yeah, shipping costs and a little bit of delays with Moser sometimes. Would upgrading the Moser pedals... So the CRP2 pedals are really good. But they're quite expensive. The CRP2 pedals are probably... I don't know which is better, CRP2s or Logitech G Pros. CRP2s might even be better than Logitech G Pro pedals, but they're, you know, V3s, CRP2s, G Pro pedals, they're all in the ballpark. But I just, yeah, if that's a very interesting one, upgrading the pedals versus the wheelbase. Session will resume in 5 minutes. So again, not sure why they've been delaying so much, but they have. Oliver Behrman's still in the car. The Bearmeister. Micro Center. Yeah, when I go to the US, I might be going to Chicago for some sim racing stuff. I do want to visit some micro centers. That I do want to do. Octave, this quali is so exciting. Yeah, not. I don't think barrier damage, because they're just tyre barriers, so tyre barriers are tyre barriers. Who crashed, Clorox? Well, 2 drivers have crashed. See if you can guess. Aston Martin is sponsored by Boss and Oakley. I didn't know Aston Martin was sponsored by Boss. Yeah, the EXX will, but you can do the mod. You can do the mod where you can mod it into GT and you can mod it into wider diameter. Sim Expo in USA, I think, is like in September, isn't it? Awesome, nice. Body paint for Kimmy. But yeah, lots of sim racing content. Please do support it. I know a lot of you saw the Wave Italy pedal one that came out yesterday or day before. I mean, those are that's £2,000 pedals. Like, I'm never ever going to buy pedals like that. But it's really interesting for me to review them, and hopefully to watch anyway to see. Okay, this is what it's like. £2,000 pedals. I don't see what the debate is with Behrman. The light is red. There's 3 red lights. So unless it's a question of, hey, well, I lifted off and I can't come to a stop. Or unless it's not clear when you go over the line normally. It looks like there's a delay between the red lights and the red panels, by the way. Los Angeles. What about Los Angeles? Nevan, I've already managed about 100 Steam achievements. Very nice. Oh, if you came from keyboard, if you come from keyboard, you've made a really good decision. Oh, is Bortoletto just leaving? Bortoletto is just leaving the pits. Oh, I love this. Bortoletto, I think, is like, screw everyone else. I'm just leaving the pit. I'm just going into the pits. So bring me back now. I love this from Bortoletto. He's gone straight to the front. Behrman sat in the pits. So Haas are trying to get Behrman back in and out and get Bortoletto out. And Bortoletto has just gone, screw this. I'm leaving the garage and I'm ready to go. Bortoletto's just... This is going to be so embarrassing for Bortoletto if he's out. But he's just... I love this. I love that. What a move. What a move from Bortoletto. They have rubber bolted the front tyres to hold them, disguise it. Okay. So they've got to put that back on. Well, I think it is back on because Bortoletto's left the pits. You can see Bortoletto's just there on his own saying, well, ban me now, lads. I'm here. He's saying, you're going to lose way more time if you ban me because I'm going to have to go around again and hold everyone up and mess up your TV schedules. And the cameras are going to be on me anyway, so I'm going to get loads of sponsorship for Stake, this gambling platform. Advertising gambling to kids is absolutely okay in Formula 1. I got a query from a gambling company. Never came back. Maybe I should put them in the Formula 1 stuff. McGurkin not allowed to leave the pit box unless instructed. So what happens now? And why is there such a delay? Like, why is the answer not clear? Imagine being every other driver just sitting there waiting. Black says temper. Do you think Bortoletto his own just went out? He was like, screw this. So it's just Bortoletto there, by the way. Octav, let it all come back through. I'll still be finished. Yeah. So green light for Bortoletto. Bortoletto leaves. So I guess Behrman is no. Behrman is out. And I wonder if Bortoletto actually just forced it. I love that. I love that. That's a lesson for us all there. Don't just wait. That was like a classic, like, okay, we'll try and stop me then. Yeah, Bortoletto's on track. Even though he might not have meant to be. I love it. Proof the world or part of it at least harbours evil. Wait, where's that come from? Okay, finally it's Q2. Oh. Finally, it's time for Q2. Unlucky Oliver Behrman, you should have just gone out, clearly. Octav, look at the standings. Ferrari won't get higher than now. You're not backing Ferrari then? You're not backing them? Oh, man. Yeah, so Tuesday I'm going to be in Paris doing some sim racing. That's super cool. That's super cool. Try and share some stuff. Maybe do a live stream out there as well. Gary, I'm looking to upgrade my wheelbase. I'm thinking either Moser R9 or Simagic Alpha Evo. Depends what you want. In terms of rim ecosystem, I would say. Two good choices, though. Two good choices. Obviously, the Alpha Eva reviews and everything has come out. The guy who was basically responsible for that stuff, I understand, left the company and has gone to Conspit. So what that means, I don't know. But then again, I don't know who the equivalent person is at Moser. That's just me telling you straight up. And I would love to go to Moser in China and interview them, but I need to find out who the person is. Miss Speedy B in TikTok says, just grown 4 new grey beard hairs in the meantime. I got 2 grey beard hairs. I can never get... They always come back. I reckon in 2 years' time I'm going to be all grey. Like, you just compare a shot here and I'm just... YouTube is very stressful if you let it be. Isn't the idea of sim racing that you don't have to go to locations? Yeah, but I'm very lucky because brands are like, oh, come and try this thing. And I'm too much of a nerd to be like, no, I'm cool. I'm literally okay just driving Gran Turismo on this. Like, I could do this like every evening and be perfectly happy. I'm just too much of a nerd to be like, oh yeah, cool. I'll come and try it. I'll ask you some difficult questions. All right, Q2 time. Let's go. Verstappen. Bortoletto set that time as well. Lance Stroll, 16.1. But look at that gap. Verstappen with a 15.4, not messing around. How about the Ferraris going to set their first times? Charles Leclerc goes second, not too bad. Will Hamilton get close? Hamilton a little bit slower first sector, but quicker second sector. Just slightly off Charles Leclerc there, but very close to be fair. I wouldn't even... If Hamilton was like consistently 2/10 off Leclerc, I wouldn't be like... I think that would be okay because his race experience, I think would... you know, he's got... Anyway, I'm not explaining myself well, but like, even if Hamilton was objectively 2/10 slower than Leclerc in qualifying pace, I still think that wouldn't be a bad thing for Ferrari. I think they'd take that in the round. I just don't understand how Hamilton... I am now, I don't want to sound like an old dude. Because I've never been of this opinion before, and I'm still not sure I am, but I am starting to think, I don't know how Hamilton can do all of his other stuff and still be, like, laser focused on trying to, as Norris goes fastest, trying to be the fastest he can on track, given that he's gone to a new team and, like, everything's different and there's a reg change coming. Hamilton and Fernando Alonso have driven across so many different regs. Fernando Alonso's longevity in Formula 1 is actually ridiculous. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, the guy is like basically 45. What about Oscar Piastri? Keep an eye on Piastri here. Will Piastri go quickest? This could be indicative of what happens in Q3. Yes, he does. Very close though, just 0.02 of a second. But notably, both of them 0.2 quicker than 1.5 really, than Verstappen. So we will see. So, by the way, if you're new to, if you're new to Formula 1, just hit the subscribe button. You won't regret it. But also, this is Q2. So what we're going to do now is work out who are the fastest 10 drivers, and they will do the last part of qualifying. So you want to be in the top 10 here to make it through. And as it stands, Lance Stroll, Pierre Gasly, Alex Albon, Gabriel Bortoleto, and, well, why is Colapinto there? Surely Colapinto should get knocked out. This always happens and I never agree with it. Like, surely he should get knocked out and just you push another driver up. Anyway. I just feel like that could be abused. That could be abused in a... Can I explain how that could be abused? Let's say it's the last race of the season, okay, and let's say you're Flavio Briatore and you manage Franco Colapinto and you've been literally banned from Formula 1 for life because you fixed a race. So let's say hypothetically that's a scenario. And let's say it's the last race of the season and your other driver, Pierre Gasly, will win the championship if, let's say, Verstappen finishes out of the points or something, I don't know. So what you could do is, you could basically, in that situation, let's say Verstappen is on his fast lap, is clearly going to get through into Q2, but just hasn't set it yet, so is currently in P16. You could have Colapinto bin it, and Verstappen gets knocked out. And obviously, Flavio Briatore, who's been banned from Formula 1 for life for fixing a race, would never do that. But if you were to have a character who is just inherently untrustworthy, they could do that. Mario Andretti and Emerson Fittipaldi. Yeah, you know, I was chatting with Emerson Fittipaldi in Monaco. I spoke with him in Brazil as well. He's a really cool guy. I've had actually quite a few chats with him. He's a really nice guy, actually, Emerson, from what I can tell. I mean, I'm speaking with him at race weekends, but he's always got time for me. It's nice. He's very sprightly for an older dude. Black says, excuse me, he'll be 44 this summer. Okay. So he's 43. I added 2 extra years there. Albon got screwed last race by Hulkenberg. It's lazy stewardship. Should be sorted in real time. Was that another qualifying thing? Okay, so everyone's in the pits, and then we're going to see the last runs go out. Will there be another red flag? We will see. Look at Isaac Hadjar, by the way, all the way up in P7. The Hadgemeister General. Qualifying is so funny. Like, with IndyCar coming up, they're going to do all this qualifying and practice. And on the one hand, I feel like in an ideal world, that's what qualifying would be like. You just have like loads of time, and it wouldn't come down to like this pressurized situation where, I don't know, it's one way of looking at it. Pierre Gasly was riding some curbs. Yeah, Pierre Gasly was on a wild ride in his lap. Where'd Luau Pueblo, who do you think would be pole? Well, I've called Norris. Gasly says, nice job with Aston Martin. What's the name of the smart guy in Aston? I'll remember him. Is that a thinly veiled insult at Lance Stroll? Pierre Gasly sponsored by Binance. I thought Binance didn't Binance go bust or something? I don't understand the crypto world. That's why I'm here, not on a yacht. Although I was on a yacht in Monaco and it was awesome. My first time on a yacht, and let me know if you want me to tell you what it's like being on a yacht. It's very different to this, but also not that different, actually, ironically. So, are we going to see hopefully less shenanigans here? Yeah, cars leaving now because there's just less cars to get around. McGurkin, Albon was P11, but Holt got his lap deleted afterwards. Okay, so we're just too late doing it. Yeah, that's not great, is it? It's not fantastic. Not amazing. Bortoletto out early again. It would be great if Bortoletto does finish last. That will really piss Oliver Bearman off. So, all the cars coming out. With shiny new rubber on, I believe, for all of them. Although I think they might have tried to scuff them a little bit coming out the pits. Get that shine off.
Okay, crack on.
And just a reminder, we are looking here to see who are going to be the top 10 drivers who will go to the final part of qualifying. So you don't want to be in the bottom 5. That's where you don't want to be. Literally the drop zone. Remember, with the lap time taking about 1 minute 15 at its very theoretical fastest, you don't want to leave it too late to come out, but I think even here the McLarens are going to be okay. There will be some traffic because Bortoletto is going to have to navigate, I would say, both Astons at least and the McLarens. I don't know who's gone past, so... But the other drivers will. But you can see it ticking down, actually. 2 minutes 27. You don't want to have to cane it on the outlap. Octav saying Williams in Q3. Octav, Antonelli might not make it. Might just make it, but not his race. We'll see. So the McLaren's still waiting to exit the pit lane. Not that there's a big issue for them because they're going to make it through anyway. But you can see how being at the back of the queue with the new way that Formula 1 released the cars, rather than you can just exit when you want and the cars work out on the last corner, which they deemed more dangerous. But then again, I see this as artificial. Like, they don't really communicate this is how it works. So Lando Norris now has 1 minute 40 to get around, and he'll have to let Verstappen through. No, Verstappen is going to be... Yeah, he'll have to let Verstappen through also. So, interesting, fun game to play. See whether Lando makes it around to time to spare. He might have bought anyway. If you're Lando and Oscar, you might just be going around, just basically taking the shine off this set of soft tyres, which is just good anyway, because you don't want to come out in a race on tyres like that. And if they need to crank out a lap, they can do one, or they can just dive into the pits. So wouldn't it be surprised if the McLarens dive into the pits here, actually? On their... Actually, looks like they've already done 3 laps on their tyres. So Hamilton is going to set a lap time here. Does he improve? No, he doesn't, which is weird. Gasly is setting a lap... is about to start, and Leclerc doesn't improve either. So neither Ferrari actually improves. Maybe track conditions have changed. And they're dangerously close to the drop zone, but they'd need basically Gasly and Albon I mean, with Colapinto out, it makes it safer for the top 10 here. So I don't think Bortoletto's gonna get up there. Verstappen not improving. So basically, no one is improving. Piastri and Lando go around for the first time. Well, talk about improvement there. Carlos Sainz does improve. So Carlos Sainz goes fastest in Q2, and he was smashing it over the chicane at the top of the hill. Will Alex Albon go close? No. But have a look at Kimi Antonelli, who is very close to the drop zone now, and we know that Fernando Alonso has been quick this weekend, and Lance Stroll as well. So, are we going to see a big team in the drop zone here? Pierre Gasly goes up to P6. Antonelli now in the drop zone. And I think Antonelli has aborted his lap. So Antonelli is going to be out here in Q2. You heard it here first. Antonelli at his home GP is going to be out of qualifying. There we go. And Hamilton as well. Hamilton, both Ferraris and Antonelli out of qualifying. It's a disaster for the Tifosi and Kimi. If you're Italian and you're Ferrari, just go and have a little cry right now, because that is absolutely embarrassing. How are Ferrari not getting into Q3? What is this shambles today? Nevan, take that shirt off. I get that a lot. I get that a lot from my fans. Charles Leclerc, Hamilton, Antonelli out. Jesus Christ, man. Jesus Christ. That is embarrassing. That is problematic. Oh, in this part of the world, that's not good. Both Ferraris didn't improve, which raised eyebrows. So it could be that track conditions changed. But Carlos Sainz did improve massively. So I wouldn't be surprised, by the way, if you see a lot of Tifosi leaving now. A bit like when I was at West Ham. Charles Leclerc basically throws his steering wheel out as he's getting wheeled in. But neither of them improved. And he's looking at the camera a lot, Charles Leclerc. He's trying to say it's kind of not my fault, it's the car. Or something. Yeah, both Ferraris out. Ferrari need to swap their Le Mans engineers and strash into F1. Yeah, just bring the 499p down to Imola. Didn't it win at Imola? Or did the Porsche win? Well, which? Well, not Imola in WEC. Absolutely embarrassing, that. Absolutely embarrassing. Not good. Not good at all. Oh, man. Man. Q3 will start in a couple of minutes, by the way. Hadjar's got through. Both Astons have got through. Sounds like an Italian fault. I mean, and what happened with Antonelli? Maybe Antonelli made a mistake or something. Looks like Sector 2 or something. He just gave up. I don't know what happened. Plan F. Yeah, I mean, look at Carlos Sainz right now. Looks like an absolute genius. Given his dad is going to run the whole FIA, surely Carlos Sainz is looking pretty strong in F1 right now. Ah. That might be difficult for them in the race as well tomorrow. I'm not being funny. Like it could be really bad for them in the race. Could be really bad for them in the race. Are they going to get past Albon? I don't think so. Are they going to get past Hadjar? I don't think so. Are they going to get past Gasly? I don't think so. Are they going to get past the Astons? Not if the Astons have genuine pace here. Verstappen, no chance. Russell, no chance. McLaren's no chance. And Sainz, I mean, that's not how the grid is starting, I want to be clear, but like I'm saying, it could, if it's something like this, it could be bad for Ferrari. And all those drivers are going to be ahead in any event. Agile will be giving Hamilton advice soon, yeah. Well, at least the Italians have one team into Q3. Akash with a great point. How did Aston Martin on mediums beat Ferrari, which are on new softs? That is a great point, my friend. That is a great point.
Keep trying.
Jordan, it can be a hell of a race. Maybe. How do you eat this straw now? Oh no. Oh god. Oh no. It's an unhappy face. It's just not Ferrari's day. Just not our day. But we can make it our day on the stream. Hit the like button. Surely we should be on 200 likes. Surely for our watch-alongs. Don't drink Starbucks, free Palestine. I don't know what... I guess Starbucks have got something to do with it, but I'm just not aware. Yeah, the edible straws. Yeah, although I've been caught out there by the edible straws. I don't know why edible straws aren't more of a thing. Like, I think if we do a product, we'll do edible straws. Track too hot for the softs. It is 40 degrees. I was checking to see whether it had gone down meaningfully. It's gone down by a couple of degrees. Mr. Mesa Garrett, I remember when Prost spun at San Marino in 91 in the wet on the formation lap and fans left the GP early. Max saying, what is this on the McLaren? Was there something on the McLaren there? Fatima, how is science first? Well, it's QT. Just smashed it. By the way, I just want to revisit the Behrman thing. Basically, I think the lights might be red when the timer goes to 0 in qualifying. It might be that the lights under the start-finish gantry are red. And the delay for Behrman was the so it's already red, so you're expecting to see red and then slow down. But at the very last moment, the panel goes red, and Behrman can't just stop out of nowhere. So I wonder if Behrman did see it and there's like a reasonable time to like notice it and then lift. And it might be at that speed. But we've seen this before with like when there's a yellow, like if it's just in your vision, that's it. It's kind of strict. I heard you'd be giving me paddock tickets. If I get them, I give them away. I need to get in touch with some brands. The Italians have tasty pasta as a consolation. Well, I'm going to have a barbecue today. Eat barbecue pasta? Nevon says some rain would liven things up tomorrow. Is rain forecast? Could it be possible? Aston bought upgrade. Oh, it's been retracted, the message! Where there's some confidential upgrade information in there. Did that happen? Was that a thing? Let me know. Ferrari needs to raise their level of cheating, but I think Flavio Briatore is otherwise engaged. So, right, we're in Q3, everyone. We're in Q3. Chat, let's try and get to the 200 likes. We can do it. We can do it. It's our first one back. We missed one. We can do it. It's possible. I believe in us. We're going to be back tomorrow as well. This little interface thing is good, I think. Do that on all my streams. Oh, welcome, Matt McGuigan. Good to see you. With the 12-month badge representing. Hope you're doing well. Vlatka, is it true tomorrow will be last race in Imola? Something I've heard. Don't they want to alternate it with Monza? I mean, I think it's going to be the last race in Barcelona next week, which is a tragedy. And I really like the Barcelona circuit, and I'm just suspicious that like this narrative has emerged recently that Barcelona is not a good track when it's actually an incredible track. And then Spa's going to be rotating. Like, how can you rotate Spa off the calendar and keep like Jeddah on there every year? Like, it's just Formula One's just gonna. Fans will go elsewhere eventually, I think.
Focus on the race ahead.
Jude, I got to be a guest at Abu Dhabi last year. It was so amazing. I could never thought those chicks. Was that in the Paddock Club at Abu Dhabi? That sounds incredible. I bet that was very nice. For the finale in the Yas Marina. What was the highlight? What was the specific highlight? Bring the Nordschleife back? I don't think so. But take F1 drivers to the Nordschleife. Can happen. Right, we're underway, everyone. We're underway, and Max Verstappen is starting his flying lap now. Lando's already started his flying lap and is looking quick. So this is going to be what determines pole position, everyone. Wasn't Flavio Briatore in charge at Benton 94 when the fuel filter missing and refuel? Maybe. Sounds like Flavio. Classic Flav. Is it the Ultrasofts? The Hypersoft. Did we have Hypersofts as well? Was it Ultrasofts and then Hypersofts? Or was it just Softs and Ultrasofts? The Aston Marina, the Hydraulic was getting to park on sidewalks and cops said no worries. Oh, nice. Okay, so lap time's coming in. Piastri in the first run goes faster than Lando, but now we're going to have a look at Verstappen. Will Verstappen top both the McLarens? Huge moment about to happen in 3 seconds time. Verstappen goes over the line and goes fastest. Goes faster than both McLarens. Franz Hermann, the legendary GT3 driver. Wow. And Russell goes over in P4. So in the first run, Verstappen has beaten the McLarens. I just wonder if you're McLaren, this is what's really interesting. If you're McLaren and you know that you have a faster car than the Red Bull, because they're all going to know who actually has the fastest car, you just know that Verstappen is doing a better job than your drivers. There'll be people at McLaren who may know that, if that is the case. And I find that very interesting. Super interesting. Fieldhouse says no, they cheat. Jed, Franz Hermann should be in F1. Well, Franz Hermann might put it on P1 here. If you're Norris, maybe you should sit back and let Piastri and Verstappen have some 4D chess there. Some 4D chess. If Verstappen was in McLaren, he would have finished Q3 already. Okay, so the drivers are going to box now, and we'll have some final runs. Hadjar, by the way, in P5. Again, I was speaking with racing drivers. They rate Isaac Hadjar very highly. Isaac Hadjar is rated extremely highly. And I think the way that Red Bull treated him in Melbourne will have, in the community, will have been seen quite strongly because he is rated really highly. And if you rate someone that highly, you probably should be supporting them at that stage. Thanks, Marcus Vayler, for following. Yeah, Stroll in Q3, generational, actually faster than Fernando Alfonso. So we're going to see the final runs, everyone. People as like RB is slow and Max overperforming the car. What, you're saying Max isn't outperforming the car? Where's Yuki Tsunoda, mate? Where's Yuki Tsunoda's car? Lord Latifi saying stroll the goat from one Canadian to another. It's so cool looking at the Mercedes wheel because I actually have that wheel. That is crazy. I tell you what, for the live stream, I should bring it here. Tomorrow I'll bring the Mercedes F1 wheel. That's super cool. That should be... Why didn't I do that today? Quick change of tyres at Mercedes. Checo out, worst decision Red Bull has taken since the drink was invented. Strong words there. Extremely strong words. Yeah, pretty smooth stream today. Hope you've enjoyed it. We'll be back tomorrow, I think an hour before the race, just hanging out. Got some more ideas I want to do on the stream as well. And then in Monaco, I'll be streaming it from Amsterdam, I believe. Amsterdam. No, where's Vildand? Okay, so I reckon any moment we're going to start to see cars leaving the pit lane. Any moment now. Who's going to get pole? In fact, let me know in the chat now who thinks going to get pole position. No worries, Heather. Thank you for joining. I think Checo will be back in F1 with Cadillac. I'm impressed Cadillac are kind of leaving it late. I suspect they've got the seat that people want and they're playing their cards right in terms of negotiations. However, because I'll get some paid drivers. However, I just think that Cadillac is going to be absolutely pants. I just think it's going to be terrible. But happy to be proved wrong. Mina says Carlos, Rodney, Oscar, Startamer Norris, Google Earth in the house, says Verstappen. Well, we're going to find out as all the cars come out. Oh, I love qualifying. When I've been doing my karting, which I wanted to go today actually. I wanted to go, but the kart race starts right now at 4:30. So I'm here instead. But at some point I will make a decision that I want to go back and do karting, but I need to see the weight classes and probably lose some weight. Probably lose 5 kg to get bang on the weight. That'd be fun. And I love qualifying when you're quick. Because you've got to remember at this stage, like, it's not even pressure, I would say. When you're that warmed up, they've had FP1, FP2, this morning FP3, and now all this qualifying and you're here, you just want to execute and you're driving really fast. McGurk says, Herman, what's the Audi lineup? Nico Hulkenberg. Sander, the battle starts now. Well, let's see. I think... let me call it. Well, we saw some funny track evolution, didn't we, in the last one? I'm going to say Max. I'm going to say Max. I said before Lando, but I just think Max is just genuinely, it's just GOAT behaviour. So we're going to see. I'm going to say Max Verstappen. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know. Okay, so Hadjar is going to go over the line to start. Piastri. What's going? Yeah, Piastri is actually on his flying lap already, whereas Lando is going to be starting his now. Wonder if Piastri's going to hit some traffic here. Verstappen's going to start a lap. If there's going to be traffic for Piastri coming around the last few corners. Maybe not optimal. Is George Russell going to get to start his lap, by the way? George Russell's got 10 seconds to make it to the line, which I think he'll be able to do. But he's got to get Lance Stroll. He might not be able to do it. George Russell might not get over the line. By the way, Piastri did go fastest. George Russell just gets over. So Piastri has gone faster than Verstappen. So here we go. But Verstappen's gone 2/10 quicker in sector 1. Let's see. Let's hope for no yellow flags. And let's hope for this is all going to be decided on track right now. What about Lando? Lando's bottled sector 1. Lando's not going to even get P2 here. So at the moment, I think it's between Verstappen and Piastri. What's Hadjar up to? Hadjar's bailed out, so Hadjar will want to get out of the way here for Max Verstappen or get a move on. Lando goes over the line, but I just don't think Lando's going to improve past Max Verstappen. No, he doesn't. Lando doesn't. Lando's bottled it. And now all eyes on Verstappen, aka Franz Hermann here. How is he going to do? He had 2/10 in the bag from the first sector. Verstappen gets some slip from Hadjar, maybe goes over the line. Verstappen it doesn't improve. It's a P2, so Piastri's going to be on pole, barring a miracle from someone else, which there isn't going to be. It is Oscar Piastri establishes dominance here on pole position, and it is Verstappen in P2 with Lando bottling it in P3. What about George Russell? George Russell goes ahead of Lando. Oh no. So George Russell exposes a mistake from Lando. Wow, did Lando hit? Was there some traffic involved or anything like that? I'm not sure. Alex Albon, by the way, I think... No, they're all done. They're all done, essentially. There's no more lap times to be completed here. So that is our top 10. That is our top 10. Oscar Piastri is on pole for the Imola GP. Verstappen starts alongside, which will be interesting if he gets a good run down to the line. George Russell with a really good lap in P3. On the mediums? What the hell? On the mediums, which Fernando Alfonso did as well. On the mediums. And Norris P4, Sainz and Albon P6 and P7. Very close between them, just a couple of hundredths. Lance Stroll in P8, Hadjar in P9, and Gasly in P10. So it's another pole position for Oscar Piastri. He is racking them up. Asanda said George P3. Rodney Lando just washed. The Italians are going to claim Piastri. Yeah, I love it. It's a bit like Daniel Ricciardo when they're doing well. They're all Italian now. George on mediums? No. That might be really interesting to watch for the long runs. I mean, that is insane. Does that mean that that soft tyre is actually just too soft? Because that medium is probably an equivalent of soft. Oh, thanks, Mr. Tropicana. Thank you so much for the $10. Thank you so much, Mr. Tropicana. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Please, chat, please like that. Please do some claps in the chat there for Mr. Tropicana for the incredible donation. Please put your smash your emojis in. That's huge. Thank you so much for $10. Appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed it. Welcome patiently as well. Lando in the Cadillac, yeah, if he's lucky. W Dono, look at the claps coming out now. Thank you very much for the donation. I really appreciate it. That's awesome. All goes to a good cause, which is the equipment, the cameras, travelling to these events, etc. Makes it all possible, literally. At this point, Lando needs luck. Oscar going to be champion this year. No worries, Rowan. Thanks for joining. So basically, yeah. So I wouldn't read too much into like medium. It's like ultra soft versus soft, right? I guess. Piastri, the next Schumacher. Norris is cooked. Yeah, Piastri looking really, really, really good. The guy just looks so cool and collected, like unfazed, basically. And this is a guy that's come through like the insane war zone that is Formula 2. With that cool demeanour. There's lots of hotheads in there. Isaac Hadjar was frustrated, smashing his steering wheel as he made a mistake in turn 1. The same mistake Colapinto made. Colapinto crashed. Hadjar had both his hands off the steering wheel, bashing it in frustration. Oh, Lando! That's what happened! Hadjar went wide in turn 1 and blew up a load of smoke that Lando had to go through. So that maybe explains why Lando had a poor sector 1, because he was 2 tenths down. Hadjar used smokescreen, it was super effective. Lando might be fuming at that. The reality of Red Bull is Snowden, Perez, Max and Alien. Yeah, Max is dragging that car. Lando thought having a quick car was enough to win. Well, that's what he said to Lewis Hamilton. But what an interesting qualifying session. In all honesty, I know I've slagged off F1 constantly throughout the stream, but in all seriousness, look how bad it's gone for the Ferraris and Antonelli. Tsunoda and the other Red Bull last. And Piastri, Verstappen, Russell, Norris is quite an interesting top 3, I have to say. Welcome tuning, welcome round table. If you're new here, do hit the subscribe button. We'll be back for the race tomorrow, everyone. We'll be back. So you don't want to miss it. In fact, the stream page is live already. And we're going to premiere after that into an interview I had with Dan Tickton. Very controversial character, and I asked him the questions about, you know, he's someone who's been banned. He was banned for 2 years for racing. And unlike Flavio, he didn't somehow weasel back in. So hopefully you're going to enjoy that. So we've got a bumper day tomorrow, and then lots of sim racing content. And then we'll be live again in the week, I think, as well, which is exciting. I have an event with Logitech as well. So let me know if you've got any questions to Logitech. 'Cause I think they basically asked me everything about sim racing. Like, I don't think in the UK there's anyone else I don't say work, well, it kind of is work with on sim racing. So it's a good opportunity if you have any questions. I can just literally ask them. They're very interested to know what do people want, what do people not like. Lando is like Fisichella from 2005. What's your thoughts about Yuki's flip? Very glad he had the halo, basically. I think the halo saved him. The halo was his saviour. But yeah, another poll for Piastri. So chat, we will be back tomorrow to see what happens in the race. I'm intrigued. I'm optimistic. I'm still, I would say I'm still my feet on the ground. I'm not gonna like guarantee a fantastic race. I just don't know. Alright everyone, thanks for joining. Hope you enjoyed it. It's a nice day here in England. So hope you enjoy the rest of your Saturday. I'll see you back for Sunday for the big race. Hopefully we can smash those likes up. We're aiming for 1,000. We're trying 5 times the likes. We're trying 5 times all of those figures. We'll see if we can do it together. Thanks Vlaka, thanks Startamer, thanks Vildrand, Octav, Pasha, Raj, everyone else who's joined as well, all the members, thanks for donations as well, really appreciate it. And I will see you